Peppa Pig is a children's cartoon that has won fans all over the world, but deep down, it hides some seriously creepy and dark mysteries.
What?
Do you know all the hidden and even strange details that the show's creators have been trying to keep under wraps since the very beginning? There's a mystery surrounding the existence of Peppa's twin sister, who supposedly lives in the pig family's basement. First, let's talk about the image from the show that features Peppa's family along with another piglet in the background. This is an official image from the series, meaning the creators intentionally included it, possibly as a clue that there's a third child living in the pig household. The second clue comes from the pig family's computer. There's a game that Peppa loves to play, and we can see the high scores listed as follows: George, Peppa, Granny, and Grandpa Pig, Mummy Pig, Suzie Sheep, and a final player whose name starts with O and P, which could stand for Olivia Pig. But there's more to support this theory. The score of this mysterious player is 142, and if you look up episode 142 of the series, you'll find it's about twin sisters swapping places. The episode is called Miss Rabbit's Day Off. This could be a hint that Peppa does in fact have a twin sister. And if you thought that was creepy, get ready, because we're about to uncover 11 of the biggest mysteries in Peppa Pig. Welcome to another episode of Cinewave. Another bizarre mystery revolves around Madame Gazelle. This character is actually a dangerous vampire. We know that she planted the tree next to her house, but that type of tree takes over 20 years to grow. The problem? Madame Gazelle was already old when she planted it, meaning she wouldn't have lived long enough to see it grow, if she were a normal person. The second clue? Peppa's teacher has no reflection in the mirror. We see this in the Halloween episode when she's talking to Suzie, who, coincidentally, is dressed as a vampire. Things get even creepier when we look at Madame Gazelle's family history. When Edmund Elephant enters that rocket, we see a painting of Mr. Gazelle, her husband. We also see the same character in a portrait inside Madame Gazelle's house. However, in the museum, he's wearing a very old military uniform, almost like he was a soldier from an ancient war centuries ago. Maybe that's why Madame Gazelle doesn't like glitter, because vampires don't like anything that sparkles. Remember that episode where Suzie Sheep introduces Peppa to her imaginary friend Leo? Most fans assume Suzie just made him up, but what if Suzie can actually see a lion named Leo? It's not unusual for kids to have imaginary friends, and nobody really thinks Leo is a real character in Peppa's world. But the mystery is even darker than that. Suzie may have created this friend because she feels like something is missing in her life, like her father. A major theory suggests that Mummy Sheep's husband doesn't exist and that Suzie is actually a clone, just like her mother. Leo's creation could be connected to Peppa's friend longing for someone special in her life. Peppa has her teddy bear and George has his dinosaur. Suzie spends so much time with Peppa Pig that she probably realizes how a normal family is supposed to be. But Suzie doesn't have a traditional family, which is why she created an imaginary friend, someone who belongs only to her and that only she can see. And what about you? Do you have an imaginary friend? Comment #friend so we can get to know each other. In the episode The Future, we see something really sad about George. He's dressed as a dinosaur, and Peppa says he'll still love them when he grows up. But the truth is, there's been a mystery surrounding George since the very beginning of the series. The possibility that he might be autistic. Peppa's little brother has an intense fascination with dinosaurs, and interestingly, this is a common trait among people with this condition. Also, George seems to understand everything that's being said, meaning he comprehends speech but struggles to communicate. The argument that he's too young to talk properly doesn't hold up, because as we've seen, George understands what others are saying. Plus, he attends the same class as Peppa. The only explanation for Peppa's little brother is that something prevents him from speaking normally, and it could be a deeply sad condition that he'll carry for the rest of his life. On top of that, his love for dinosaurs might actually be his way of coping with loneliness. What do you think? One of the creepiest mysteries in Peppa Pig revolves around Edmund, Emily Elephant's younger brother. This character is a genius, and we can definitely imagine that elephants have incredible minds. In the real world, elephants are known for being highly intelligent animals, so it makes sense for little Edmund to be portrayed as a character with vast knowledge. But there's a problem. Emily's brother simply hasn't been alive long enough to know everything he knows. For Edmund to have such a deep understanding of science, he would have to study for over 10 years. Since he's the same age as George Pig, this raises a big question about his character. Some believe that Edmund is actually an adult elephant, or that he is the main reason time doesn't pass in the series, which is why his mind has evolved while his body hasn't. No matter the answer, one thing is clear: Edmund Elephant will always be a mystery because there's still no explanation as to why he's in Peppa's class. If George Pig and Richard Rabbit, who are the same age, are placed in the same class as their older sisters, then logically, Edmund should be in an even more advanced class, since he clearly knows way more than all the other kids. You've probably seen the episode Grandpa Pig's Computer, where Mummy Pig gives her dad an old computer she used to own. If you pay close attention to Grandpa Pig's office, you'll notice there's a framed photo sitting on top of a cabinet. It's an old picture showing a little pig wearing a polka dot dress and another younger pig. Most fans assume this is a photo of George and Peppa, but that's not true, because the picture is black and white, meaning it's an old photo. The same picture can be seen at Daddy Pig's workplace, as shown in the episode where Peppa and George visit his office. The truth is that the pig in the dress is Aunt Dottie, and we know this because of her outfit, which matches the style of Mummy Pig's sister. The other pig in the photo can only be Daddy Pig, since he also has the same picture. But the big mystery is that Aunt Dottie seems to have been very close to Peppa's dad when they were younger. Many fans believe they were best friends, but that Daddy Pig ended up marrying Aunt Dottie's sister. For a long time, before Mummy Pig's sister appeared, fans assumed that Aunt Dottie was part of Daddy Pig's family, but when it was revealed that she wasn't, a new mystery was born. If they were siblings, it would all make sense. But now the question remains, what is the real connection between Daddy Pig and Aunt Dottie? Were they just friends, or did they simply go to a school dance together? And you know who else should stick together? Us! Just hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. One of the biggest mysteries in Peppa Pig's universe is Grandpa Pig's past. If you pay close attention inside Mr. Fox's shop, you'll notice a collection of ships and bottles sitting in the back. But haven't we seen those objects somewhere else before? Yes! These exact same pieces were first spotted in Grandpa Pig's attic, and we all know that Freddy Fox's dad is a thief. When fans saw this, they assumed Mr. Fox had stolen them from Peppa's grandpa, but that's not exactly the case. If you look closely at the posters in the episode Children's Festival, you'll discover that Polly, Grandpa Pig's parrot, used to be a companion of the infamous pirate Redbeard. The truth is, Grandpa Pig was very likely a pirate back in his younger days. This is a real mystery because Grandpa Pig dresses like an official sailor, but he definitely doesn't act like one. If you take a good look at his boat, the biggest piece of evidence appears. The ship's flag, known as the Jolly Roger, is a well-known pirate symbol, something that a real sailor would never use. So was Grandpa Pig a good person in the past? In the episode Troublesome Tortoise, we see that one of the animals at the vet clinic has escaped. This tortoise's name is Tittles, and according to Dr. Hamster, the veterinarian, he escapes all the time. But could this be a clue that the person running the clinic is actually terrible at her job? There's a mystery surrounding Dr. Hamster in this very episode, suggesting that she doesn't take good care of the animals, so much so that the tortoise keeps running away. Should someone call Animal Protection Services? Here's another mystery with a creepy twist. What if everything is just a TV show? Hold on, we know Peppa Pig is a children's cartoon that airs on TV, but what we mean is that Peppa's family is constantly being followed by a camera. Peppa even visited a television studio where she recorded the show's intro while Suzie Sheep watched it live. So, does that mean that every episode we watch in Peppa's world is actually an in-universe TV show? And if so, besides us, who else is watching? Another really bizarre mystery is the fact that the Queen of England lives completely alone in a castle. In the episode where we meet her, there's no one else living in the palace. The theory is that Queen Elizabeth is actually the sole survivor of a past animal revolution. That's why most of the characters in Peppa Pig are mammals instead of regular humans. One of the most mind-blowing mysteries in the show involves Grandpa Rabbit. In the episode Sea Treasure, Peppa finds a bottle with a message written by Grandpa Rabbit, but when they call Miss Rabbit's dad, he says he wrote that letter 100 years ago. But how is that even possible? That's way too long for him to still be alive, even for a children's cartoon. This question was never answered, but maybe the next season, coming at the end of the year, will finally explain it. But you don't have to wait for the new episodes to enjoy Peppa. We've picked out 2 more videos for you to have fun with. See you in the next one. Bye for now!